Hi, my name is Hannah Andrews, and I am also known as the Life Purpose Queen from realityawareness.com. I am an intuitive healer for celebrities, and today I'm talking to you in a part of the most common questions that I get asked series, and I'm here to break the myth of modern day spirituality. So, in that only 200 years ago were people like us still getting burnt at the stake for being a healer, a witch, a wizard, basically someone who had some sort of intuitive connection and actually listened to it. We could make a potion out of herbs. Gathering herbs to heal a part of our body or put it on our skin and heal a wound. And we were called witches and all this, and we were still getting burnt at the stake. Now, this is only 200 years ago, and the reason that I'm sharing this is because this fear of being killed for our gifts is still living in the collective field. If you think 200 years ago isn't that long compared to how long humans have been around on the planet. So if you, resonate with, you call yourself a spiritual person or spiritual minded person, an empath, highly sensitive person, a healer, psychic, light worker, intuitive, shaman, wizard, god, goddess, witch, warlock, spiritual teacher, meditation teacher, yoga teacher, work in the healing arts or consciousness or teach awareness of some sort, if you are in any of those realms or anything like that, then I'm creating this series because I'm seeing a lot of fear being spread in the spiritual, community, and it's time we really break this, okay? It's, the collective and the consciousness of that old spirituality is still in the collective, and it's up to us to start breaking it. Because we might sit there and bag out the unconscious people of society, whereas we're still being unconscious too, because everybody's human. It doesn't matter what field we are in, it's about coming from the heart instead of the head. So this fear of being killed for your intuitive abilities is still in the collective. It's very fresh, and if you haven't done any personal development inner work on actually healing the fear of being burnt at the stake or beheaded or whatever happened to you in that past life, that's going to be living there and be running on some effect in whatever you're helping people or running in the world. So when you are, teaching, speaking, it's about, choosing, are you coming from fear or are you coming from love? Because ultimately we want to be tapping into the love grid of consciousness on the earth, right? And if you haven't heard of the consciousness grid, there's a grid that surrounds the earth. Like we've got an aura or an energy field, so does the earth. And we can tap into the different levels of consciousness or the different realms of consciousness. And it's from the love grid that we want to be coming from, not that old spiritual collective consciousness that's sitting there. We want to pull out of that and tap into the love consciousness, which will raise the vibration of the earth. So only love is real. It comes from the heart and it starts in our thoughts, and it's a choice to choose to come from here. So with today's talk, I'm talking about empath dilemmas. So empath dilemmas, the truth about them, how to heal them, and more, right? These are common questions that I get asked all the time. And I get asked, am I an empath? And I'm like, actually, it just made me question, because in my journey so far, especially in the start, I kind of hear about it, or I read something about it, and it resonated. I was like, oh yeah, but I didn't really think too much of it. It didn't really oh, I'm an empath, and and that's what I am, and I pick up whatever. Maybe because I more resonated with being an intuitive or psychic or something like that, right? And there's no wrong or right here. I'm just giving you some information here. So when it's like with all labels, it's empath, highly sensitive person, introvert, psychic, healer, wizard, whatever label you want to put on it, at the end of the day, we're all sensitive. We're all finely tuned and a lot more sensitive than a lot of other people on the planet, right? And there's a limitless list of labels that you can describe energy with, and our natural nature, our natural energy is love, right? At the core of it, it's all the same thing, yeah? So in my clearing and cleansing energy blueprint, I talk about this, what is energy? Because having that awareness that, energy, when you think about the earth, the planet, all of that, everything is made up of the atomic molecules, right? Like if you, in science, they break it down, or quantum physics, they break it down so everything is atoms. And, you know, it's what came first, the chicken or the egg. It's like, is there really out there? You know, they talk about the projection out there rather than, you know, it being real. So if you haven't seen What the Bleep Do We Know, the movie, I highly recommend watching that. And in Clearing Energy Blueprint, I go into a lot more detail about it, but I just wanted to, you know, say that everything is energy, and, you know, it's from this that we're choosing what energy we're putting out to the world, what we're taking into our body, okay? Because as an empath, or whatever word you want to call yourself, you feel energy, basically, you know, like you feel the weight of the world, you feel this, and it's energy that you're feeling. So the thing that I wanted to share about labels is that it can be a really stuck energy, right? It's basically a judgment that we're putting on something, you know. It's like that saying, nothing is good or bad, only thinking makes it so. So it's being mindful how you use these labels, because yes, they can be so beneficial, right? It's, you know, it helps with awareness and explaining things and, you know, becoming aware of it, but don't be limited. So don't be like, oh, well, I'm an empath and I feel things, and, you know, it's like terrible because I'm feeling stuff all the time and I get floored with tiredness. And while that's all really real, it's about, okay, cool, yeah, I resonate with being an empath, or whatever other label you want to put on it. So now what can I do about it, right? Because when you understand, then you can do something about it. So if you're a sensitive person, so I'm going to replace the word empath, highly intuitive, sensitive, psychic. I'm going to use all those labels, and I'm just going to use sensitive for this video because it's all explaining the same thing. So if you're a sensitive person, you feel the weight of the world, right? And it can be like this sense of impending doom, like, you know, like the world's going to end, and it's like there's nothing we can do about it, and it's terrible, and, you know, it's just like this, oh, and it's like, you know, we feel everything as an empath. We feel, you know, everything all the time, and everyone thinks we're crazy, right? We lose a lot of friends, family, and, you know, some people even get angry at us because they're wondering how, you know, we knew such things about them, like we don't even mean it, like we're just general conversation talking as we do, right? And then they get, you know, frustrated or scared or angry or whatever it is, because they're like, well, how did you even know that? You know, they might not even say it, but it's like, well, how did you know that about me? I didn't say anything. And then they kind of like put this wall up, and they're like, oh, like, do. Yeah. And it's like, you know, sometimes our brain won't function because we're feeling so much, and there's just too much going on, and like overloaded, right? And the thing about sensitive, when we're in this space, we want to cocoon around, away from the world, we want to hide, we want to disappear from society, shut down and not come back. I just had enough, right? Want to leave the planet, even run away from work, relationships, our responsibilities, the whole thing. And, you know, and in that sense, it's like we can be blaming other people, like, oh my God, they're so negative and toxic, I must get away from them, you know, and like they're making me feel like this. And while it's very real, and, you know, you need to honor how you're feeling, don't sit there and blame, because when you're pointing the finger, you've got 3 fingers pointing back at you, okay? And so it's about turning this book around and taking responsibility. So I love, in Clearing Energy Blueprint, I teach, you know, about responsibility. It's our response and our ability to respond, yeah? So what's your responsibility in the situation, yeah? So when we're cocooning and hiding away and all of this, you know, like in the Clearing Energy Blueprint, I go through so much more in detail about, you know, taking responsibility and for what you're seeing in the world and what you're creating. And your sensitivity heals humanity, right? Like your sensitivity is a gift. And sometimes you might hear that and you're like, oh, but I've had enough of my gift and I don't want to, you know, it's too much, or, you know, it's like, how do you do that? How do you even believe it's a gift, right? When it can feel so hard at times, and you feel the world's going to end, and you feel everybody's pain, right? Because your sensitivity heals humanity, because you are here as an empath, healer, sensitive person, intuitive, conscious being, spiritual teacher, yoga teacher, whatever you want to call yourself, right? You have come to help heal the world back into love. You have come to help the world in some way, shape, or form with your unique life purpose gifts, right? To awaken humanity. Like there's this sense that you want to help everyone. You don't want them to be in pain. You don't want the animals or the people or the earth to be in pain. You want to take their pain away. You want to help them. You want people to wake up. right? It's like, you want to do this, but then your gifts, kind of overrun you. You get overloaded and you blame other people for their negative energy. And, it's like you can't heal humanity. You can't step up and live your purpose when you're, hiding away in a cave or running away from society all the time, or just purely hugging trees all the time. Whilst you can do those things, like there's a time for prayer and there's a time for action, because we're co-creators. We have intuitive. We've come into this body on this physical world for whatever reason, who knows, right? However, we can't just sit there and pray and not take any action, because we are co-creators. We've got two parts. We've got a soul, which is our intuition and connected to source and connected to our intuition. And we've got a physical body. So there's two parts there. So there's praying, there's your soul, there's your intuition, and then there's action, physical stuff, right? We need to exercise, we need to eat, we need to do all these things. We can't just like, I better pray to eat now. I better pray to get fit and healthy now. And not move, like, doesn't work, right? So when you're blaming other people for the negativity, okay, you're putting that energy out into the world too. Whatever that person is doing to you, or that situation or anything like that, is out of your control. You have absolutely no control about it. The only control you have is to remove yourself from the situation, take care of yourself, and change your thoughts, yeah? And what is in your control is that, and your gifts, yeah? Your sensitivity is a gift. You can sense it before it happens. When you're tuned into that, when you fine-tuned your skills, you don't even enter it, right? And it's like, when you're fine-tuning your gifts, your sensitivity heals humanity. You're learning to be in our modern day society. Like I said, you can't be away in a cave and fix the world. Well, there is the Ho'oponopono method and all of that. I get that, right? It's possible. However, most of us are living in our day-to-day modern society. It's how to use our gifts to heal our modern day society without needing to go into a cave, without needing to feel overloaded and shutting out the world, right? Because with your extremely tuned in truth to the abilities, and the truth being love, that is your gift to shift the modern day right here, right now in your modern day society, yeah? As Mother Teresa says, if you hold an anti-war rally, I shall not attend. But if you hold a pro-peace rally, invite me. Now, the reason that I bring this to your attention is because focus, focus, focus. Everything is energy, right? You feel energy, you project energy, everything is energy. Whatever you're focusing on, whether it's negative or positive, that is going to increase. It doesn't matter, remember? What is it? Nothing is good or bad, but thinking makes it so. So if we're like focusing on like even anti-war, like Mother Teresa's saying, anti-war, no more war, no more war, war, war. What are we focusing on? War. We don't want it, but we're still focusing on it. Doesn't matter. The universe doesn't hear, particular words as such. It doesn't. We're focusing, all our energy is going on focusing on war. It's like, even if you're focusing on a particular politician, you don't want them to be doing that certain thing, but you're still focusing on them. Your power and your gift that heals humanity and heals the world is to take your energy and focus away and off them. Stop feeding them. Stop feeding what you don't want energetically, right? And if you hold a pro-peace rally, invite me, because what are we focusing on? Peace. Whatever we focus on grows, yeah? So how do you own your gift? How do you do this then, right? You learn to love it, you learn to hone your skills, and you build a relationship with it, yeah? Why would you want to do that? So you don't get constantly flawed with tiredness, so you don't feel like impending doom of the world, and all of that is you're feeling the world, like you're feeling the darkness collective, you're feeling everybody's pain, you're feeling everybody's fear, you're feeling everything, right? So you're just like carrying it because you're a sensitive light worker and you want to help, but you don't know how, and you're just feeling everything, right? Why do you want to do this? Because then you don't constantly feel like you're going crazy and everyone, that's not conscious is calling you crazy as well, right? Simply because you feel everything and you're well beyond your time, right? Because it's more than just being an empath, yeah? It's about fine-tuning your gift, right? Because it's the love vibration, yeah? It's fear or love. We're choosing love, okay? Because once you're awake, you can't go back to sleep, right? So the thing you can do is when I teach in my Trust Intuition course about the 4 spiritual organs, right? This is fine-tuning your gifts, yeah? This is the crown chakra, which is your claircognizance, your clairvoyance, which is your third eye, your clairaudience, which is your ear chakras, and your clairsentience, which is your heart, which is if you resonate with being an empath, that's where you feel, yeah? So I teach the chakras very different to traditional teachings. So if you're curious about that, I've done 2 YogaTube. YogaTube, I love that. Oh my God, has someone got that? YogaTube. Wow. 2 YouTube videos specifically on the chakras, and that's based on light field yoga, hence me saying YogaTube, because light field yoga is based on the chakras and we start from the top and come down, and there's 8, not 7, because include the ear chakras, right? Because we have to be open and listening, yeah? So with these 4 spiritual organs, the crown chakra is where you think, right? And the thing about fine-tuning them is that you might feel a lot, right? And you're like, oh, well, I only have this one, or, you know, like, and it's not about, you might be strongest in your feeling, in your feeling abilities, right? And your gift and fine-tuning your gift is about fine-tuning this one, this one, this one, and this one. So you might be strongest here, but not very strong here at all. But it's a muscle and it grows. So what you can do is work on the exercises to build this one and make it as strong as this one. And then with this one, you can fine tune it so you're not feeling too much or feeling everything, and make it stronger so that when you do feel something out here, you feel it before it hits you and you're like, oh, floored, right? So fine tuning your crown chakra is about your claircognizance. So it's your crown opens like a flower towards the sky, and it's where your divine wisdom comes in. So your intuitive thoughts, your clear thinking, your divine wisdom comes into your body. By the way, if your crown is closed, you will feel depressed most of the time because you're not letting the light into your body, hence why I teach coming down, right? So it's, you know, with your claircognizance thoughts, it's the gentle repetitive thoughts. It's not the obsessive, like, gotta have it feeling, yeah? Feeling, thoughts, thinking, yeah? So with the third eye, it's your clairvoyance. You've probably heard about it. Clairvoyance is, you know, clear seeing, and it's seeing the truth. So if there's a word for the third eye chakra, I say truth, but also relationships, because it's about seeing the relationships dynamics in, you know, family situations, in relationships, in all, you know, you're seeing the dynamics. You're also seeing the bigger picture point of view, and you're seeing what happened in the past, the present, and the future, all in one. So you're able to get a bird's eye view and see what's going on. Oh, okay, helps with forgiveness because you're able to see the truth about the situation rather than just being embroiled and seeing your point of view, right? With your ear chakras, it's your clairaudience, your clear hearing. So they like open like flowers towards each side, and they're like big grids that come off, right? And you can tune into other realms, whatever realm you can imagine. That's what you can tune in and listen to. It's your hearing, so like hearing when somebody says something, you're hearing the truth. So if they say, you say, oh, how are you feeling today? Oh, I'm fine, I'm good. Like, how many of us really do that? But ultimately, right? Oh yeah, I'm good. Or that, you know, you can tell when somebody's lying because they're saying one thing, but you're actually hearing something else. Like you're hearing the truth, or you get a sense about, well, that's not how you're feeling. You're not feeling good today, or, you know, so you're hearing the truth behind the words. And it's, you know, so you're hearing out there, and then you're also, like, you're hearing your spiritual guides, your angels, all of that. And then also inside, so there's always an inflow and an outflow with the chakras, is that you're hearing, you know, like your intuition, you're hearing your, whether it's your inner child, your inner mother, your, you know, inner family dynamics, or it could be a shadow part, you know, you're hearing all your intuitive wisdom inside you, you're hearing your chakras, hearing all of that. And then it's your clear hearing, yeah, so hearing clearly. Your heart chakra, like I said, is your feeling. So when people say they get a gut feeling, this is your heart. Even though they say gut feeling, it comes from your heart. Yeah, it's your feeling, and you feel everything. Your heart may be closed or it may be open, but you still feel everything. Yeah, so your whole body is almost like it feels everything, right? You feel it through your whole body, and you're like a sponge, right? So fine-tuning your clairsentience helps you to, you know, be stronger, so that even when you do feel something, you don't latch onto it. It doesn't stick in your aura and your energy field, because that's when it keeps dragging you down. Yeah. So they're the 4 spiritual organs. And I teach in my Trust Your Intuition course. It's all in module 1 because it's the first point of call for trusting your intuition, is getting clear on your spiritual organs, healing them individually, exercises to build each one individually and then all together, all the ins and outs about how to really fine tune those spiritual organs, and more details about what they look like and how to repair all the bits and all that sort of thing is all in my Trust Your Intuition course. So the other thing is about finding your realm, yeah? Now, this might sound a bit weird if you've never heard of it before, but it was something that really hit home for me, and it just feels like, well, I've got guided to put it in here for you to share. So Doreen Virtue, I went to her Angel Intuitive in 2007, and she, with her big seminar, and I loved it. It was so amazing. She made the, however many people were there, a huge group of people, split up into our realms, right? So there was a person around each of the big seminar conference room with a sign, Earth, like Earth Angel or Mermaid or, Wise One, Wizard, and then you had to go to your realm. So she went through and described them all. So if you haven't heard of the realms, I highly recommend reading these books. I'm sure you can Google information about it too. But it just helps you to find where you feel, like for me, it was like coming home, right? And, if you've heard of like a walk-in, for example, so, like somebody, is on a, like they died on the operating table or something like that, and they'd actually died, but then they came back alive again, but they're a completely different person. Sometimes souls can walk in, to there. So walk-ins, or like an earth angel or a witch or a shaman or a high priestess or a leprechaun or a gnome. And then there's like blended realms. So like a mer angel is like a mermaid and an angel, so half angel, half mermaid, or mer fairy, and the thing about learning about the realms is not only helps you, but it also helps you, like, you can tell people, you're like, oh, it's a star person, or like they've got the characteristics of a fairy, or even some people got pointy ears like a fairy or an elf, and it's really cool, like, just because you can almost communicate with them better, or you have more compassion for them, because especially with incarnated angels, for example, it's like they struggle to be on earth. They want to help everybody, sometimes carry a bit of extra weight too, because they're protecting themselves from all the energy, right? Which is what weight usually is a protection mechanism, and we want to help everybody. And it's like, because, some people even say, oh, you're like an angel, right? It's like, well, they're picking it up, right? It's the truth. So the other thing you can explore is crystal children, rainbow children, indigo, and there's more incarnating at the moment. They're different, I don't know what you'd call them, maybe different realms of children, so different, levels of consciousness of souls that are coming into babies. And, when I did have another book, my indigo book, I couldn't find, I must have lent it to someone and it hasn't been returned. But so there's crystal, rainbow, indigo, and I'm pretty sure there's more, souls starting to come through and people starting to write about them and teach about them. I'm definitely an indigo, so that helps, if you don't fit in the world and that sort of thing, and you're a bit of the older generation, you're probably an indigo. Rainbow children are just, full of love, and the crystal children are very similar. The rainbow children don't even, there's no judgment, so these children are coming in. It's like the indigos are here to clear the path, break down systems, break down governments, like the whole thing, or whatever it is, right? Break down systems, create new systems. And then the rainbow and crystal children are just coming in like completely full of love, right? There's all forgiveness, or, so even if you've got troubled children, I highly recommend researching those. Like I said, there's books. I'm sure there's more authors than Doreen Virtue who writes them too. Just Google, do your research, but these are things I'm recommending for you to source if you're feeling this, anything anything I share that you resonate with, it will just help you with your, fine-tune your abilities, right? So with me, I resonate with the mermaid realm. Hello, the mer people. I love these books too. These are in my bookshelf by Brenda Rosen and Lucy Cavendish. Highly recommend her work. She's got some amazing books out there, and cars, and I'm sure she's got blogs and all that sort of thing. So highly recommend Lucy Cavendish's work for all the realms. And when I was doing, especially back when I did it in 2007 at her conference, Doreen Virtue's conference, I resonated with being an earth angel, but also a mermaid. And then I was like, well, I'm a mer woman, right? I'm a mer person. And, this picture came into my reality at the time, and I was like, oh, that's just like, it was just like, yes, that's so me. So, when you start to explore your realms, see what, pictures and, messages basically come to you. You could be a fairy and see all these amazing fairy pictures, or, just trust what you're attracting to, because this is your intuition and your spiritual guides, your angels helping you, right? Find your realm, find your home, fine tune your gifts and your abilities. So this beautiful piece of artwork is from Jonathan Earl Bowser. So all the links will be in the bottom of this YouTube video, so you can always go and explore. So, he's a mythic naturalism is all his art, right? So there's amazing artwork, and I love, exploring this. When I was pregnant with my daughter, somebody gave me a card with this image on it, and I was like, oh my god, this is so me with my little mer baby. And I was like, who made this artwork? And Selena Fenich, I love her artwork too. So she's got amazing fairy stuff, like all different realms. So go and explore and see what realm you fit into, because it definitely feels like a homecoming, yeah? Now, the other thing that you can do is attuning to the cycles of the earth. It's like so important, right? We live here, we're physical people, right? And I'm sure you care about the earth and feel sad and feel earth's pain when it's being hurt and animals slaughtered and all this sort of thing, right? You feel that. It's like, stop, they wake up, people, yeah? So the thing that you can do is attuning to the cycles. So you're part of the earth, you're made up of the same physical stuff, the same atom energy density, yeah, because it's just vibrating atoms at different density. So if you think of the Avatar movie and how, connected to nature they were, like we have the power to connect back into that if we choose to open our ears and all our spiritual organs and listen and tune in that way, right? Tuning into the realms, yeah? So we're all connected, and everybody is connected. It's just whether they're conscious of the connection. And by you becoming conscious of your connection, then everybody else will shift and become conscious of their connection too, eventually, right? Because it all starts with you. So, the ancient tribes of our planet and the tribal, the tribes that are still alive on the planet today, they all do this stuff, like this is natural, and this is like they're looking at all these modern people or, city people and just going, oh my God, right? And I bet a lot of you watching this are the same, right? So connect into the realm of the planet and, open your ears, because the ear chakras are about opening to receive, opening to listen. And that's why I'm so passionate about teaching the chakras the way that I do, because for centuries we've been coming up, spirit's up there, let's connect to spirit. It's like, no, or to the universe or God or whatever it is. It's like, no, down, because we don't want to be living up in our head and stuck in our ego and fear that the whole planet's on. We want to be coming down, feeling safe in our body, to feel grounded, yeah, connecting right down, grounded, and awakening all our chakras so we can listen, right? It activates within us, yeah? When we connect into the realms, we open here. The ears, the heart, and the base are strongly connected. We open here, we open here, and we open here. If you're having trouble with fertility, you need to get your ear chakras open, because our ears look like our ovaries, right? So open to receive, open to listen to your intuition. Feel safe, base chakra. Feel safe to receive the information. Feel safe to receive your intuition. Trust, base chakra. Trust. Feel it. Open, yeah? Ground those intuitive ideas that come in, you're listening, resonate with the heart, follow it, trust and ground it, give birth to it, either physically with a baby or your project, make it happen. Every single thing on this planet that's ever been created, books, cups, everything, first came from a thought, yeah? It was thought, received. The thought was received. It felt right. They did it, took action on it. Base chakra, we're coming down, making stuff, yeah? So if you're wondering, when I say here, activate it within us, makes us stronger. And, when we do it, that's how we can help other people, because the more conscious we are of our own connection makes them conscious of their connection without us doing anything for them. It's about us and our connection and making our connection stronger. Because the 100th monkey effect, if you haven't heard about the 100th monkey effect, go and watch. I found this awesome YouTube video and I was going to explain it to you. I'm like, oh, this is even better, right? So go and check out. Again, all the links are in comments underneath this YouTube video for you to check out. The 100th monkey effect is about, you know, the whole scenario of like consciousness, and how it's like basically one monkey was on an island. Well, there's two islands, monkeys colonies, right, on two separate islands. They couldn't get to each other. One of them started washing the fruit, and then, you know, then the other adults started doing it, and then all of a sudden these monkeys started doing it too because there was enough of them. So it just kind of grew, and then all of a sudden everybody got it on the collective consciousness, right? So go and check that out. And the pyramid pool as well. And I love how she teaches this, because if you're worried about, well, how can I fix the earth? And oh my God, how can there be so much bad stuff going on in the earth? And, you know, I'm helpless to do anything about it. Go and watch the pyramid pool. And, you know, she says it's like why everything is actually better than it seems. Like they're must go sees if you haven't seen them, yeah? So the earth cycles for a reason, yeah? We've got spring, summer, autumn, winter, yeah? There's a reason that we go through the cycles. So it's important for you to become the shaman that you are, yeah? It's like, you know, connect in, you know, maybe you don't resonate with being a shaman, maybe you're an elf or something, right? Find your realm. But I'm just saying, you know, shamans are deeply connected to the animals, deeply connected to the earth. You know, if you're a sensitive person, you've got that thread in you already, right? The label, again, the label doesn't matter. You would probably love animals, you know, you might be vegan because you don't like them being killed, right? It's, you know, like checking in and, you know, releasing the label and checking into the truth that it's actually that thread that connects us all. The label is just helping us to understand it, but then it's about removing the label, because then we're all just the same, right? And the thing is, with the animals, and you know, when you become the shaman that you are and connect in with the natural cycles of the earth and the natural rhythms of the earth, is the fact that you can't go back to sleep once you've woken up, right? So once you've woken up, now it's time to take responsibility and own your gifts and fine-tune them and do something about it, right? So with this, there's only love, yeah? If you think about, you know, and I wrote a blog about this not long ago, when you are connected to your intuition, when you are connected to your heart, when you are staying in love, there is no need to fear anything bad on the planet, yeah? Why? If you think about the animals, and if you think, you know, when a natural disaster strikes, there's no animals around, right? Well, barely, right? The wild animals have fled long before the natural disaster comes. I think, I don't know, I read somewhere, it's like the best warning signal for a tsunami is to keep an eye out for the birds and the animals, because they are gone long before that tsunami wave comes, because they're intuitively connected to the earth rhythms, the cycles. They sense fear, you know, it's really natural and intuitive for them. And that's how we naturally are. And it's about returning our awareness and our consciousness that we have that too, and fine-tuning the ability so that we can be like the animals. There's no reason to fear in that regard, yeah? We stay connected to love because we're always safe. Our intuition always keeps us safe, yeah? So how do we do all this in our modern world? It's like, yeah, we're connected to the earth and we can do all this, but we're living in a friggin' modern day society, right? With technology and roads and cars and all this stuff distracting us from our natural abilities, yeah? So what do we do? How do we do that? The other thing with this too is that there's earthquakes, solar flares, there's the earth cycles affecting us, there's astrological planet shifts, there's moon cycles, right? And the thing is, you know, like how do we, you know, navigate this in our modern day society is that we live like the animals. We don't have to live like the animals. We live with nature, not against it. Yeah, we connect in with the natural cycles. We need to sleep longer in winter for a reason. There's longer days, longer night day, you know, longer darkness, shorter days, and longer nights in winter for a reason. Our bodies need more sleep in those cycles, right? In the summertime, we've got more energy and we don't sleep as much because, you know, the sun's up longer and all of that, right? Attuning to the natural cycles of the earth, especially, you know, like I just got the message, wherever you are on the earth too, like really connecting into the energies of the particular earth geographical location that you are on the earth, yeah, because every point of degree on the earth has a different vibration too. So really tuning into where you are and grounding into that and using it, yeah, like asking it, like, what can I do for you, how can I connect more to you, all those sorts of things, yeah, really connect into it, because the earth does not belong to man. Man belongs to the earth. I love that. By Chief Sethel. So the earth does not belong to man. We don't own the earth. We belong to the earth. Our physical stays here. Everything that's physical stays here. We don't own anything. People, places, things, we don't own any of it. We can't take it when we die, as you always heard, right? But we can do amazing things with the things we have while we're here. And that's why we're here. To do incredible things. To connect back to the truth. And the truth is love. Every month I hold a full moon ceremony online. So that's a live online event that you can attend. And it's an intuitively guided ceremony that I hold. So depending on the energies and, the topics, or that's intuitively comes through every month. So the link's below for that if you want to come and join the full moon ceremonies. That's a live event online. And in my Trust Your Intuition course, I teach the Moon Goddess initiation. So that's an entire module based on the moon, her cycles, connecting to them, how you attune your energy and your life to them, and using that energy and really aligning your soul's purpose. Because when we connect into the natural cycles and rhythms of the earth, of the planets, of all of that, right, when we attune and align, we're connecting into our natural intuition, and our intuition is leading us to our life purpose, because our life purpose is what we're here for, right? So how do you stay sane in this modern world as a sensitive being? Like, with all this stuff going on all the time, right? The number one thing is self-care, yeah? When all else fails, self-care, yeah? 3 days of self-care to the extreme before you make any decisions, before you choose to do anything else. Self-care, self-care, self-care. Number one factor, right? So in my Clearing Energy Blueprint, is the clearing and cleansing energy, like how to cleanse your energy, yeah? So there's the internal compass, there's Archangel Michael, there's chakra clearing meditations, light-filled yoga flows. You can imagine yourself in a shower, like when you're in the shower, and this is like a piece of gold that, everyone on the planet should know this, right? If, especially if you're starting to get into the spiritual awareness or stuff, or resonate with anything, right, of the spiritual nature. This should be like mandatory, right? And when I teach it, it's like you should be doing this every day, like brushing your teeth. When you're in the shower, imagine yourself under, the shower is like white light, and the white light is pouring over you and washing all the darkness down the drain, yeah? And going straight through your chakras, so crown, third eye, ears, throat, heart, solar plexus, sacral, and base, cleansing through the middle of your body, through the outside, and going down the drain, all the darkness going down the drain, right? So it's like, when you go to, the shopping center and you come home and you're floored, like it's the same thing. Imagine not showering for a week or a month or longer, right? And how grotty you would feel. Well, imagine what your energy's feeling like, right? And that's why, it's so simple to, every time you're in the shower, just imagine white light, or you can even imagine the water literally cleansing, like you use it to cleanse your physical body, cleanse your aura, cleanse your chakras, see all that darkness and any energy that's not yours is going down the drain, right? And you can imagine a big, bubble of light underneath, or the center of the earth could be like a big bubble of white light, so all that darkness is getting transformed in there, but it's just amazing, and the other thing is to anchor it in, right? So make it as a regular cleaning practice, like you would brushing your teeth or having a shower, like cleanse your energy that often, right? So there's waterfalls, and I'll explain that in a moment. So when you're cleaning your house as well, when you're vacuuming or mopping or anything like that, you can imagine like the vacuuming away any negative energy. You can use Archangel Michael or any other deity that you can, use or feel comfortable with to help you clean the energy of your home. Same with mopping and all of that. And then there's also like the physical cleaning, cleaning glass, cleaning, your aura, all that sort of thing. Like, it's really having that conscious awareness of when you're cleaning your house, that you're also cleaning the energy as well, yeah? So it's the same thing. Feng Shui is awesome. Like, highly recommend using Feng Shui too. There's simple Feng Shui you can find on the net, I'm sure. Just to have, clear space, clear energy, because, when there's clutter, it does clutter your energy and your home as well. And, there's certain ways with Feng Shui that they set up, with the northeast, southwest, and then with the actual room itself as well, is how the energy flows. Now, you don't need any tools as such. They're guidelines. You don't have to use them. I highly recommend them, though. And with that, like, the thing I was going to say there was, you could feel it, right? You feel it even when you go through your paperwork pile that's been sitting there for months. Like, oh, that feels better, right? So go around, look around your house or your room and look at all those little piles, right? Just shift one a day, right? Just do one drawer a day, right? And your energy will start to shift too, yeah? So the list is endless about, how you can get creative in clearing and cleansing energy very simply. And the biggest thing too is, seeing it as clear. It's like, oh, that's so negative and it's dark and it's horrid. And it's like, well, yeah, okay. Or you can imagine seeing it clear, yeah? You see it clear. It's like, my crystals and, I used to put my crystals out in the full moon, every full moon. And, literally I was like, I don't have time to do this with all my heaps of crystals that I've got. And now I see them as clear. And when there is a full moon, I imagine the full moon rays coming through the home, because everything is energy. So ultimately there's no roof. So I see the full moon rays coming down and cleansing all my crystals all the time, or every full moon. But again, it's about seeing it clear too, yeah? And that goes for anything, clearing card decks, clearing anything. See it as clear. That is the best healer for someone who's sick or someone you want to help. Just see them as healed. See them as clear, yeah? It's really empowering, and it does help to shift them, because remember what I said about the labels is a judgment, and that keeps them stuck. So when we're labeling someone as a murderer or a pedophile or anything like that, our judgment is also keeping them stuck. Yes, they may have done bad things. However, our awareness of what we're focusing on, again, is the focus, what we're focusing on in that person is going to keep them there, keep you there, keep the collective there. When we can see the divine light, the divine spark, that thing that everybody's got intuition, it's just a matter of them being conscious of it. Imagine if you started seeing everybody conscious of their connection to their intuition. Global shift, isn't it? So be conscious of what you're seeing in that person. Yes, they may have done bad things. Yes, you don't have to hang out with them. However, choose to see the light within them and then focus on what you do want. Yeah? Focus is so powerful. Mother Teresa, well ahead of her time. So, clearing and cleansing energy is imperative. Yeah, it's a must do if you're an empath. And not just once a week. Oh yeah, I did that chakra clearing. Yeah, I've done that before. No, every day, twice a day. However many times you shower, right? How many times you brush your teeth? Come on, right? It's connected. There's no separation. In my series, again, the questions that I commonly get asked is, how do I protect my energy? It's a whole nother YouTube video. You can go and check that out. I talk about using Archangel Michael to protect energy. So he also clears energy, and I talk more about that in that video. So you can go and check that out if that calls to you. And the activating your internal compass, that's a free meditation that you can download that I created. There's actually 2 meditations. You just got to enter your email and then you'll get emailed the 2 meditations. One is just activating, recalibrating your internal compass, and the second one is using the internal compass to clear your chakras. So there are 2 free meditations, the links below, so you can use them and use them daily. And the thing about this and all my tools, and this is how I teach, that, like, do both of the meditations, listen to them, yeah? And listen to them, for a bit until you get used to them, right? Because then you can just use your internal compass when you're starting to feel exhausted at the shopping center and you're like, oh my God, and then you fully activate your internal compass because you can do it by just thinking about it, and you can start clearing your energy with the internal compass. So once you listen to the meditation, you understand what I'm talking about. But this is the sort of thing that once you do it a few times and then you know how to do it, you'll be able to do it in your mind when you're at a shopping center. As soon as you get a wave of tiredness or someone's energy or whatever, you can just quickly clear it and do it immediately on the spot. You don't need to go, oh, where's that meditation, and put it in. It's like, no, you do it straight away. Okay, so that's a free meditation that you can download for yourself. Now, the waterfall, I love this, and this is why I wanted to talk about it with a beautiful picture, because I'm all about visuals. I'm very clairvoyant. So with the clearing energy, cleansing, sorry, I was just reading it. So clearing and cleansing energy is imperative. So the waterfall technique, like the shower, okay, you can imagine yourself underneath a waterfall. So you can just imagine if you're laying on your bed or if you're washing the dishes, you can imagine yourself cleansing energy. Imagine a big waterfall of like white light, or, you know, even being under waterfalls is very therapeutic, as most of us know. So you can imagine, you know, the white light cleansing, just like I said with the shower. However, the other thing with the waterfall technique that I love, and this is the part I wanted to share, is that, you know, with your doorway in your home, so your front door, you can imagine that's just like a constant white light waterfall all the time. Like the waterfall's always turned on, right? So that when you walk, when you get home and you walk through your front door or any door in your house, your energy is automatically cleaned. Yeah, so yes, we still need to do our chakra clearing and all that in the shower. Like, make that mandatory, right? Just like brushing your teeth. Imagine not brushing your teeth. Remember that, okay? So, but with the waterfall on your doorway, it's done every time, even when you're busy and you're carrying all your shopping or whatever you're doing, you're getting home and you've got a million things to do or whatever, it's already done. Plus, the other thing about this is that whoever walks into your home, they get a free cleansing energy too, but they don't even know, right? You don't need to tell them about it. They might not accept it, soul level consciously, right? And that's a whole nother YouTube. I'll talk about psychic attack and psychic abuse in another video. With, you know, that, then it keeps your house, you know, more higher vibration and cleansed too, right? So same thing, like I said with the shower, see it all going down the drain, or it just automatically dissolves as you walk through the door, yeah? So in my clean energy mini course, I go through like how to clean energy in your home or in the environment with physical tools. So like with crystals or sage or incense and other physical items that we, you know, use every day as well, and how to place them around your home and all that. That's all in my clean energy mini course. So you can get the link for that below too. So switching off from the world is good, right? Now, I spoke earlier about cocooning yourself and needing to run away and all that. That's different from taking a time out, okay? So if you do feel that impending doom and you're negative and, you know, you got a negative like, oh my God, the world's so bad and there's nothing I can do and there's so much gun control, like there's shootings and there's politics and there's all this negative stuff going on. Like if it's constantly in your mind, you want to take a step back, right? Switch off from the world for a bit, realign, reattune your energy. You might be carrying somebody's energy, and my my YouTube video as well is the link below, just of like how to tell if you're carrying somebody else's energy. That's there for you. You can go and check that out. So it's always good to check in with that. However, switching off from the world gives you that chance to just realign and check in with what's right for you, because we can feel so overwhelmed with everyone else's energy and the world's energy and pain and all this stuff, and we get so lost with who we are, and that's why we end up taking on all this stuff, because we're so lost, right? And when we can switch off from the world for a time, then we can get stronger in our abilities, which is the whole thing of, you know, this video is teaching you how to do that, so that you don't get to a point where you have to run away from the world, but it's like, okay, cool, it's my tune out time, it's my reset time, right? So, you know, switching off the television, media, internet. Like, I rarely watch the news. Like, well, I don't turn the TV on. I'm here, I'm creating, but I love watching an old movie or Netflix or something every now and again when I feel it. But, you know, the news, I don't watch. If I need to see something that's going on in the world, my intuition, my angels, my guides, whatever you want to call them, I will always be shown. Something will happen and immediately it'll be in my feed, or someone will text me, or I'll, you know, be in a coffee shop with a TV and I'll just happen to see it there and I'm like, oh, okay, cool, I obviously needed to see that, got it. You know, and it's like trusting Again, this is the whole thing about we don't need to be switched on to the media all the time. And it's the same thing. It's like, if you're wondering what to do about the politicians and all the stuff that you feel powerless about in the world, simply remove your energy from it. And trust, just like the animals, right? Like I said, if there's a tsunami, you're going to know about it before it happens. Right? Because when you're connected to your heart, to your intuition, and you're here to make a big impact in the world, which you wouldn't be drawn to watching this and following me if you weren't, okay? And having that, trust within yourself that if you need to see something, you'll see it, that you're always safe and protected, well, hey, what are you going to attract? And do you know what you're doing? You're not feeding that negative energy on the planet. You're not feeding what the media is trying to feed you, because they're controlling us through that. Okay, and when we switch up from that, we're like, oh, wait, what's this world? Especially when we do it to start with, we're like, oh, resetting, realigning your energy. Yeah. So with your phone, like put it on night mode. Set a boundary for yourself, like from something that you can manage. It might be like from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. I'm not going to be on my phone. Like realistically, choose from 8 or 9 or something like that. I mean, you could do whatever hours you want, but this is a example. Turn it on night mode, turn it on airplane mode if you can, switch off notifications. And just have that time. It's a self-boundary. It's a self-care that from 8 p.m. to 7 a.m. every morning is my time to read a book or do some colouring in or connect with my kids or meditate or take a bath without being on technology, right? It's just having those boundaries, because what that does is it's there's so much coming in all the time, like that's why we're feeling everything, and there's all this stuff going on all the time where we lose ourselves. When we can have that boundary, like this is my time, reset, this is you time, realigning, then you get clear about, oh, that's interesting, that's going on. You don't get like, oh my god, and you feel it and you're like, oh, that's horrible and I want to take the pain away from them. It's just like, oh, okay, I see that, I feel that. Must be really bad because I'm feeling that, how bad that would be for you, but you don't have to take it on, right? Because you know that they're connected to their intuition and it's just a matter of them being conscious of it, right? So a good little tip that I like to share is that only check messages or emails or social media messages or notifications when you can actually be presently responding. So I know for a long time there I was like, in the shopping center and I'd be checking notifications and stuff, whereas I've learned that, and this might sound silly, but learned to be present with what's going on, and that's really strengthened my intuition and my energy field about what's coming in and what's going out all the time. So I mean, if somebody text messages, of course I'm going to check who it is. Whether I respond or not in that moment is a choice that I make. So, the thing with our modern day society and technology, it's like, gotta be onto it, like immediately. You didn't text me back straight away. It's like, come on, come on, bring yourself back into yourself, right? If there's an emergency, do you trust that the intuition and your angels will always tell you about it? You will always be notified somewhere, somehow, right? You will be told if something is really important that you need to know, So only check and when you can respond presently, because the other part of that is that I find, because I'm so intuitive and so switched on and so connected and so blooming accurate, as you know from my readings and all my teachings, that when I would read a message or Facebook, if I opened it and I don't have the time and space to sit and reply straight away, I get the download of the answer immediately. And if I don't write that down, it's not that I forget it, but it's sitting all there in my field, and so then I'm kind of a little bit, not clouded, but it's like what it is. It's like I've got the information downloaded, so it's sitting in my energy. I'm a little bit like extra full because that's sitting there waiting to respond, but I'm still doing this other thing, right? So I've learned, and it's really empowered and strengthened my energy field and my awareness and what's coming in and what's going out and all that thing, that I don't check any messages or respond, properly until I can sit down and actually read it and then respond straight away, because the intuition always comes through when I ask a question or somebody asks me a question. Bang, it's there. So if I can wait, then I can be present and allow the flow and come through, and so I'm still present with what I'm doing. Really awesome tip there. So it's not forever. right? If you're switching off from television and stuff, it could be just for a time, right? It's like, oh, I'm doing this forever. No, right? Allow yourself. It's the same thing when I say you're doing a detox, like with food and stuff. The easiest way is to say you'll do it for 30 days, because then your mind ego is like, okay, cool, yeah, I can manage that for 30 days. Whereas if it's like doing it for the rest of your life, like, oh my God, I'm never going to be able to have that again. Oh my God, right? It's easier to set. Right, so every Wednesday night I'm going to turn my phone off, or every night I'm going to do this for a week, or I'm going to do this for a month or something, right? Yeah, just get used to it and do a little bit at a time like that. And it could be as simple as even from your mentors, like your mentors or people you follow. You might be like, oh my God, this person, like, wow. And then you learn all this stuff, but it's really good. And you'll find you'll naturally get to a point anyway that you'll need to just go, whoa, that's enough for a minute. And okay, I need to, what's right for me here? Yeah. And then you might come back in and, it's like, oh yeah, that resonates, oh, but that doesn't. And getting clear about what is you and what isn't. Yeah. So you can fine tune your feed too. So on social media, and you can do this with all your feeds. If you've got negative stuff coming up, or people gossiping, or negative things in the world, you don't have to look at that, and you can just go unfollow. You don't have to actually unfriend the person. You can just unfollow that particular post. When you actually click on it, you can see there's different options. Unfollow this person altogether, but stay friends. Unfollow this particular post. You have control about what you're seeing in your feed. If you don't like it, change it. Same goes with anything, right? And adjust the notifications. It's the same thing. I used to get notifications on my phone all the time, Facebook messages, like all notifications, and it was just too much. The same thing when I'm working on my computer. I'll be doing one thing at a time. I won't have all notifications coming up, because it's just, again, it's too much. It's just like, let me just do one thing at a time. Sometimes I'll be like all over the shop, and it might seem all over the shop, but it's actually creative chaos, and I'm like, it flows. Other times I'm like, right, need to just do this, like just stop, and I'm needing the quiet while I do this one thing. Yeah, different flows. It could be summer, it could be winter. Yeah, could be needing lots of energy, could be needing more quiet. Yeah, tune in, yeah, to your natural rhythm and flow. So you're going on an energy detox when you're doing this, yeah? Because that's how, as an empath or sensitive person or healer or whatever you want to call yourself, you're going on an energy detox. That's how you're going to get clear about what your intuition is, what your energy is, what yours isn't, and how you can not be flawed all the time because you feel it. Have compassion for it, but it keeps flowing through, because energy does move through you all the time. But when you get stuck on it, that's when you get stuck and stuck and stuck and stuck and stuck. Yeah, and that's when you get heavy, and it's like, oh my gosh, yeah. So you're an energy detox. And the other thing is with your mental thoughts. Yeah, your mental thoughts are so important. Yeah, what you're thinking about most of the time is creating your reality. So yes, thinking is creating your reality, but your thinking creates how you feel, and how you feel is what you're attracting in the world. So what are you tuning into? So some mindset affirmations that I've created for you, things, like these you can have on your wall, read them, again, like brushing your teeth morning and night, or however often you do it. You can journal. I'm a big advocate for journaling. It's changed my life. Positive journaling, that is. I don't write about bad stuff anymore, because I learned how much bad stuff I've written about. I was like, oh my God, no wonder my life's been like it is. And I stopped doing that. And now I only write positive journaling and manifestation journaling. And my life has completely changed. So I'm a big advocate for journaling, simply because when you're writing, you're physically moving your body. Plus, you're changing the brain neural pathways as you're writing, constantly, all the time. And then that way, you're able to, shift your reality bit by bit when you're constantly repeating, mindset affirmations that are positive, right? So things like, my energy is clear and centered. My intuition is getting clearer and stronger every day. I have lots of energy. I easily decipher what energy is coming from where and why. I take responsibility for my energy and my emotions. I'm getting better and better at taking care of my energy, needs, and reality every single day. I'm awakening to higher consciousness levels. I am awakening to love. I am choosing to love every single day. My compassionate heart and energy heals people without even saying a word. My presence changes people positively. My words hold incredible power and I choose them wisely. Notice there's some spelling mistakes in there and I could change it, but I'm not going to. It's fine the way it is, and we knew what we were saying. It's me typing fast and creating fast. So more, I am choosing to create consciously with love. Every action I take comes from my heart. My heart awareness and consciousness is becoming stronger every single day. I easily decipher my dreams and intuition. I am becoming increasingly aware at understanding the messages my intuition is giving me clearly. My home energy and mental energy is clear, concise, and positive. I am constantly aligning to my life's purpose by following my heart in all my choices, even when they don't make logical sense. I'm highly in tune with the earth cycles and the messages I receive from her. I am acutely switched onto and into the truth. I am conscious of the words I speak to myself and others. I am speaking more positively every single day. These are just an example, right? There's so many positive affirmations out there. Louise Hay is like the affirmation queen. She's just got an affirmation website. There's books. There's so much you can do. The more you do it, the more you'll start creating yourself and, start consciously creating like effortlessly. They'll just, and the thing with doing mindset work, and especially with the affirmations like this, is the fact that the more you do them, the more comes through and the stronger they get. The stronger your positive locks into place. So I've created a PDF with these particular mindset affirmations. If you want to download that, the link is below, and you can just enter your email and that will get delivered to your email inbox as well, and then you can just print it out or you can copy and write them down. So that's available if you want that there, because it's really important that you take responsibility for your mental energy, because they're creating your feelings and your feelings are going out into the world, plus you're receiving that same vibration. So what do you want to choose to feel most of the time, and then the universe respond to that? Because do you want your gifts to own you continually, be wiped out, knocked out, don't want to be here? Or are you going to step up and own your gifts? Fine-tuning your abilities, because to change the world you need to be empowered, and you need to be your own knight in shining armor, be your own queen, be your own king. That's be the change you wish to see in the world, right? And it's coming from the inside out. It's what I always talk about, inside out, because the peace starts within and then it ripples out. Anything is possible to those who believe, because we want your energy back. You want to feel energized again. You want the joy and the freedom that comes from that. You want all that. I'm sure you do. So I hope that this YouTube video has helped you. I am Hannah Andrews, the Life Purpose Queen. You can find me at realityawareness.com. If you've got any questions, please comment below and I'll come in. Or if you think that this will help somebody, please share it with them. I've created it on here for a reason, because the whole world needs to know this stuff. Please remember to subscribe. Lots of love. Keep it real. Namaste.